work with a bunch of
Gotta open the chat today with, hey, chat, we're hiring.
Who got hit this time?
Welcome, chat. We're hiring. Would you like to come work at Monument Hobbies? All you have to do is promise you'll never use the word deets.
We require a very specific skill set.
Also, never say good morning.
And never say good morning. Or think it's okay that you can just think words mean something they don't mean.
I mean...
No.
Uh-oh, Punisher said, sure, what are the deets? Oops.
Oh.
Quickest way to fail an interview. Sure, give me the deets, bro. What are the deets? Can I get them deets?
In Mortal Kombat, we are open, yes, every day except Christmas and New Year's Day. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. However, if you're planning on coming in for more than just like a local pickup order that you would just grab and go, 3 p.m. So we have time because the crew, they like to leave at 4. And I like to leave at 4. Should you bring cookies? I mean, we're not going to turn you away regardless, but if you have cookies...
Could strengthen your position.
Yeah. You might get a warmer welcome.
So, how many cookies...
We'll give you a warm welcome anyway.
Here's a
but
good
a
question.
warm... You're not going to be here, Jordan.
Well,
this doesn't concern you.
Unrelated question.
Oh, okay.
Unrelated question. How many cookies does it take to overlook a deets comment?
Ah.
What kind of cookies?
That's part 2 of the question. What is the cookie that can be made to offset the deets conversation, and how many of them would be required to wash away the memory of said comment from one's mind?
Well, since I'm not a hipster, I feel like it could be something like a plain old chocolate chip cookie, but it would have to be a knock your socks off chocolate chip cookie.
Yep.
And there would have to be a minimum of a baker's dozen.
And here's the thing. A knock your socks off cookie to 1 is not necessarily a knock your socks off cookie to Jason.
What is the shape of a knock your socks off cookie to Jason?
The shape?
Sorry, I'm being a little...
The shape is less relevant than the texture.
I was using shape.
I hope it's round because that's kind of what cookies come in, is round.
What does one look like to your mind's eye?
Round.
Oh gosh.
You lost me at raisin. Raisins don't have any business in a cookie.
Unless it's an oatmeal cookie.
Nope.
Oatmeal raisin cookie. That could be up there. If you have a knock your socks off recipe for oatmeal raisin cookies, that could win.
So Mortal Kombat said oatmeal raisin cookies slightly undercooked are the best. I will die on this hill.
Okay, I'm with you. I'll die on that hill with you.
I
don't know that they're the best. I think I have to put the same with chocolate chip cookies. I have to be a little bit underbaked and a little bit heavy, the thin kind, heavy on the baking soda, or light on baking soda.
I always have to look at the chart.
I think it's light on baking soda, or made with baking soda instead of baking powder.
Jason does not like a cakey cookie.
I hate cakey cookies because cakey cookies should be called cake.
Yes, the dark chocolate only. We're all in agreement there.
Oh yeah. So
Jen says, "I'm going to the grocery store. What do you want?" I said, "Chips Ahoy." She knows better. I didn't even have to I thought about it for one split second after I sent it. I go, should I tell her the blue package so she doesn't get the cakey ones? And no, she knows me too well.
Yes.
It's 10 years of knowing don't get the red package. Get the blue. We haven't even had those cookies but a handful of times.
I know, it's
but
been a few, but
she still knows.
Yeah, of course.
Jen's like,
I know what he likes when it comes to cookies. I've made them a couple times, but you know. You will die on that hill, cold and alone with no friends.
Probably also true, but you know what? It's my hill.
It's my hill to die on, and I'm gonna die on
It's
it. Darn
my
it.
hill.
Have we said
cookie
hello?
like
We
chunk.
kind of jumped in with deets and missed a lot of the deets of like how we normally start a stream by saying hello to our friends.
Wait, did Jen just say deets and
Chat, we're hiring.
Oh, Jen threw it in there.
Oh darn! I don't have to work anymore. What?
We need a new CEO, Chad.
Shoot.
Jason.
What tomato rattle can Ghost Hunter?
The next
Kombat,
press
thank you for the
release
sub.
for Monument Hobbies is Monument CEO replaced for saying deets live on stream.
Oak Ren, hello, Iterator, Source.
Does Jen say
Tyson
deets?
Toad. I don't ever
Oh,
say deets.
don't worry, Chris. I caught it immediately. She threw it
You
in
should
there.
hear Jen when we're at home alone. She is total hipster speak. She's
Yeah,
like she's trying
I say
to.
things like deets and
Hello, fellow
sitch,
youths.
Rand, Punisher,
Clipped.
sarcastic grandpa.
Clipped. Fired. Everybody's fired.
Everybody's
Synthetic,
fired.
Hello.
Everybody's fired.
Flapjack. Hello, everyone. And Colonel said, Jen, Jason, and Jordan, how are you doing today? And
I
hi
was
to
doing
all the
okay.
hobby nerds in chat.
I was doing all right
Till the deets came out.
until I had to hang out with these people.
Oatmeal craisin. So I don't mind a craisin. I don't like a raisin.
What's a?
It's a
Oh,
cranberry.
it's
Dried
Ah,
cranberry. Yeah.
yes.
Millimeter Matt said, guys, I'm in a pickle and need a suggestion. After hearing Baby J raid about Path of Exile 2, I
Uh-oh.
caved and installed it last night. Still haven't played. So, after work, do I paint minis or play PoE 2?
You paint minis.
You do whatever your heart tells you to do. Let your heart be your guide.
Paint minis. Or
Paint me.
or come hell dive with me.
Oh, there you go.
Mortal Kombat said me and Jason can hang out on the hill together passing cookies.
Yep. We'll be enjoying our cookies. While these fools are over worried about their cakey cookies.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Law Tomato said, speaking of my Steam profile, using part of my Christmas bonus to upgrade my PC for PoE 2.
You have to upgrade your
Nice.
PC for it? Not that intensive.
It's definitely
It lets you turn
step
stuff
up.
way down.
Source on a 50 stream streak.
Nice.
Source killing it.
Surviving through another Saturday evening or weekend
Oh.
stream.
Francois Marion on YouTube said, was looking for some relaxing therapy, but there's a chick here talking about cookies. Real
Yeah.
grim, dark, hobby oriented. Not surprised there's 0 likes.
I'm sorry, what?
Yep.
I'm off to go find the boys club. Good luck with your simp cookies.
Yep.
You seem fun.
What?
Enjoy
Yep.
your day.
Are you okay?
I am Mortal Kombat, right?
I would offer a hug, but that's probably too girly.
Good luck with your simp cookies.
It's all right. You know what? It's the holidays.
I have a feeling Francois is French. Can't trust the French.
Speaking of needing a new CEO, I just noticed I have 1 million channel points. That gets me a stake in the company at this point, right? Who do I contact to receive my shares?
Is that how that works?
C-suite
Shoot, we
position.
should have taken that post down.
I mean, let me tell you how many I have.
Should have taken that post down. Yeah, if you can ever achieve the amount of channel points Jen has, you can have the company. How about that? I don't think that's possible.
Good.
She has a head
luck.
start on all of you.
Yeah, by a long.
Saren said, should I thin pro curls to push through an airbrush?
You can. When you are looking to do vibrant base coats, you can do it without thinning. So like on the Battletech Mini, the Timberwolf that I did last time, all of the base coating was done with airbrush, starting with dark blue into the dark jade, jade, and then bright jade. And all of that was done with 0 thinning, right? And it just is a matter of your brush control with the airbrush. So how comfortable are you as you start moving to brighter colors, because brighter colors are the ones that will show spotting more if you don't have good brush control on it. So you might want to start thinning as you go to brighter colors as you're highlighting, because by thinning that you get a little bit more, a little less spottiness, but you might have to layer a couple more times. This is all just done with 1 layer each. So it really is up to you. The nice thing about our paints is that you can spray them direct in most cases. If you're only spraying like one model or for very short periods of time, realize that if you're doing like a squad or you're doing an army and base coating all the color, you're going to want to thin just for the sake of not clogging the brush, because the paint over time, if you don't thin it or give it a flow improver drop or something like that, it won't last as long as you want it to. It'll start to clog. But then you can thin them like you like, too. You can thin them down as far as you want. So if you want to make them nearly transparent, you can do that and do glazing with them. Our paints are very, very flexible in that regard. So.
Well, said I don't meet the CPU requirements for PoE2.
Oh, okay.
What are the CPU requirements?
Will it not even run?
Classic French behavior.
Because I know that when I loaded it up, it tells me that like my GPU drivers aren't up to date, you know, because they have fancy detection software, but it ran like a beast at ultimate settings without new software on my NVIDIA card. So.
Oh, Chuck, I'm so sorry. Chuck said it's 10 degrees outside, and this is not okay.
Sounds like a bad choice you made. Could have come to Arizona.
Do you want to know, Chuck? I mean, you could Google it.
Don't tell him. He's going to be mad.
You could Google it, which is probably less painful than hearing it said out loud. Blood Walrus, hello.
He's going to be mad.
Suffice to say, it's not 10 degrees outside.
It's more than 10.
It is more than 10.
No, it is not that level of cold.
It's been like 38 in the morning.
It's been brisk in the morning.
It's been 38 in the morning. I don't know how people live in that. But luckily it gets up to a nice high 60s, low 70s for the rest of the day.
I'm going to tell you, the past 2 mornings, I've gotten in my car and thought, wow, I see where a heated steering wheel would be nice. My steering wheel has been very cold.
You're going to get death threats. You're going to get death threat emails here pretty soon. People are going to be like, wait a minute. I found out my car has a heated steering wheel.
Huh?
Like on a button
I know,
that isn't even
that's what I've been
isn't
saying.
even
That's
labeled.
what I'm saying.
It isn't even labeled anywhere in my car that that steering wheel is heated, but it is.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, oh, yeah, now I see. I understand it.
Pretty nice.
The benefits of the steering wheel that is heated.
I've been using the heat seaters.
The heat seater.
For months, probably. Probably like 2 months.
I definitely walked to work the other day and spent the latter half of the day like really cold.
Yeah.
It's also like about 5 to 6 degrees cooler on this side of the building than it is on the other side, which is really interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, I looked at the thermostat on that day because I was like, it is cold over here.
I wonder why.
That's because we don't have 20 people working over here.
That's I think what it is.
Yeah, that's probably true.
All that body heat.
Yeah.
From the fulfillment crew.
Yeah.
Jamming to get people's orders out the door.
A lot more activity. T. Schmidt, hello.
What's going on, T. Schmidt?
Miniatures
Schmidt.
10.
How's everyone doing today? Hope everybody in chat's been having a nice, delightful afternoon so far. We've made it to Thursday already.
Bud just finished sound checking Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees.
There you go.
Takes me back to my childhood. I remember the resurgence of the Monkees in the 80s.
Oh, wow.
MTV brought them back.
Oh, that's right.
They put the show on. The Monkees did a tour. I saw them in concert when I was in like probably 8th grade or 9th grade, maybe.
Seriously?
With Heather, yeah. Yep.
Hey, with the Monkees.
Yep. I think they play. I mean, I think it was like at the state fair.
People say we monkey around.
Panic Bomb. Been 24 there all day. That's too cold. I don't know how you people survive.
Nobody can live in that.
There are these things called hats, coats, and gloves.
Nobody should be required to have extra. Have to buy from the boutique store, the cosmetic tab in the game. Shouldn't have to buy them to stay alive. That's pay to win where you live.
I mean,
Valthorn said, reminds me when I lived in New Mexico, winters were usually on the warmer side until they suddenly weren't. My first time at 22 Below wasn't fun for this Southern boy. Yeah, that does not sound fun at all. Saw the beginning of the Monkees TV show plenty of times because the song was so cool. You were too young for the show to make any sense. I don't know if it was supposed to make sense.
Did the show make sense? Wait a minute.
Yeah, it was pretty campy. I don't think it was supposed to make a lot of sense. It was just fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, it wasn't supposed to make any sense.
Panic Bomb said the same thing. Not sure the show's meant to be understood.
100% no. The Monkees were always like on around the time of Sid and Marty Krofft, you know, like Far Out Space Nuts and
Yeah, they were.
Sigmund
They were
and
all
the Sea
pretty
Monsters.
crazy.
You just said a whole bunch of things that I have never heard.
None of
in
that
my
stuff was meant
life.
to
You
make
should
sense.
Google it all, Jordan. It's pretty fun.
It's just like a 10 to 15 second part of Jason's conversation that just didn't make any sense to me at all.
Have you heard of the Land of the Lost?
No.
Oh.
You gotta remember, Jordan was locked in a room until he was like 20 years old.
Oh, I know, and I mean, it was way
Have a
like
conversation with
when
your
we
parents
were
when I see
like
them
when
now.
Jason and I were little kids. It was the Saturday morning things. They were on around the time of the Saturday morning cartoons, but they weren't cartoons. HR Puff and stuff.
Yep.
Jason,
That damn flute that talked scared the bejeebus out of me. Hi, Timmy!
I would love to have you have that conversation with my parents.
I'll be like, I don't know what you guys were
And
thinking.
you too, Jen.
But you needed to have socialized this boy a little more. Because he doesn't know nothing.
It was a simpler time.
Oh, man.
That's for sure.
I got to get my mom to come visit here so that she can come by the office and you can ask that question.
So
would be
tell us about
hilarious.
Jordan's childhood.
Big Bobzilla, hello. Mortal Kombat said I seem to be in a small group of people who were too young for HR Puff and stuff, but I had Dino Riders.
Dino Riders. Had to be like the next generation
Dinos
down from us.
shooting freaking lasers.
Shooting freaking lasers.
Dinosaurs with freaking lasers.
Locked in a room until he was 20. Jordan, how have your 4 years of freedom been since then?
Yeah,
Whoa,
exactly.
Hold on. I am not 24. I am most certainly not 24. I am 31. Thank you. I have been out of my room for 11 years.
That's not helping your situation, Jordan. You should have gone with 24.
Dang it.
That's so funny, Jordan. I've been out of my room for 11 years. Mr. Blue, oh, you've been here once before. Did not expect to see 3 people. Hi.
Hello.
I'm just here for chat.
Changes up daily.
Yeah, some days it's 1 person, some 2, some 3. Some days we get all 20 people in here.
True. Very true. Taking some coal black here. Touching up all the little toenails and stuff all over this model that apparently has like extra fingers coming out. Like, ugh. Have you ever looked at the actual fingers on this thing?
You know,
Really creepy.
that's useful. Like,
What?
you know, if you're in a situation where you might ever lose a finger, having extras is not a bad thing.
This is kind of bizarre. I'm gonna be honest. This is not what animals look like.
If that's the part that's got you worried, you're not really paying attention.
I mean,
You know, bottle
Yeah.
up some warm Arizona air and ship it your way. We can. By the time it gets there, we don't do refunds on that.
Got a pretty short shelf life.
Turns out, not the way entropy
Oh yeah,
works.
you'll have to reheat it in the microwave. There you go. We'll put some in a box for you. You gotta pay for shipping.
You gotta ship some air.
And then when you get it, you gotta reheat it.
You gotta reheat it. Well, I mean, that's the way. Like, if I were to ship you a steak,
Right? Yeah.
Right? Same thing.
Well, Tomato said, I keep all my extra fingers in a jar. You heard it here.
You keep the fingers?
I'm a little worried about chat.
Are we going to be on Dateline someday?
Yes.
Trying my hardest.
You're trying your hardest to be on Dateline?
Trying my hardest. But I'm trying my hardest to make it an episode about Jen.
Jason, you really lit up
Wait a minute.
Room. Oh,
She's like, wait a minute.
Light up the room.
Wait, how do I fit into this situation?
Yeah, in what way am I involved in this?
It'll be the
Making
one where
it about me. Am I the victim, or am I?
No.
Am I the one that they only show
I'm
in
the
interviews
victim.
from here up
I'm
until
the victim.
end, and then everyone sees I'm in a prison uniform?
Yeah. Yeah, you're only shot in the interviews from like the shoulders up because they don't want to show the striped
That's how
suit
you
off.
always know. Like, well, obviously the person did it because they're only showing them from the neck,
Yep.
from the shoulders up. So that means that the rest of their clothes are prison attire.
Or prison attire. They give him a shirt, but you can't change the prison pants.
Panic Bomb made a joke about Duran Duran joke yesterday. Jordan at least recognized that Hungry Like the Wolf is a song. Well, that's good.
What?
I've probably talked about it before, right?
No,
How weird
I mean,
that-
I've heard it before.
You've heard that one before? Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
He and Christopher were in here talking about how, excuse my French, but
I got Christopher good with that one today.
and
That
neither
was
one of
so
them knew where it
funny.
was from.
They didn't know what "excuse my French" meant.
It was excuse my French, but then they cursed and didn't use the French word. It's from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I'm not gonna say it live, but
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Which is a movie that I have not seen.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
but they were wandering around asking around. Chris was like, "Have you heard this? Where's that from?"
Oh.
And he was really frustrated about it.
Christopher's yelling in the other room already.
Wait, so Jason, you said it? No.
No, Christopher said it to me.
Oh.
You can hear him yelling.
No, I can't hear. I can hear sounds, but I can't understand what he's saying.
I hear Charlie Brown's teacher in there.
So Christopher said it to you, Jordan, but he didn't himself know the origin of it,
No, okay.
or he did. But you
No,
didn't.
so as Christopher does, he tends to make a lot of references all the time.
Okay.
Most
So
of
he
which-
was just testing to see if other people recognized it.
Yeah.
So he knew what it was from.
He's like,
testing.
I'm sure you
like,
know this
okay.
one. And
Yes.
then he
Like the
did
day
it.
I said, somebody knows what it means if I say I would rather pay, or I would gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Chris
All
is
right,
like, I
okay.
do.
And everybody stares at you like,
I get
huh?
it. So Christopher was doing that. Like,
Yeah.
have you heard this before?
You know
and
what's
then
really
they repeat it, and they look at him like, no.
It is funny. There was a moment many years ago.
He never came and asked me though. I just heard all this secondhand.
Gotcha.
He knows that you know it though. He knew. He was like, I bet you even Gabe knows, and I was like, Gabe definitely doesn't know. And he was like, Gabe, do you know?
Gabe's
He's
like,
no.
T. Schmidt said, "You haven't seen Ferris Bueller? Jason, please fix Jordan. He needs repairs. We've tried."
Whoa. I'm a work in progress.
You're 31. That doesn't go in the same sentence.
You mean he's never seen Popeye 27 times?
No.
I watched that movie probably 100 times.
The Popeye
Yeah.
with Robin Williams.
Yeah. Because when I was a kid, we had HBO, and there were like only a few movies,
And
and they
that was
just
one
showed
of
them
them.
over and over and over again. And every time Popeye was on, I watched it.
And that was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And you are right. HBO only had like a few flicks
Yeah.
back then, because they started as just a channel that replayed like second run movie, right?
Yeah.
As soon as it left the theater, it would go to HBO first
Yes.
before you could get it even on VHS sometimes.
Source: Ferris Bueller's Day Off is the name of the movie. It is an American classic.
Yes, it is.
We highly recommend it.
100% classic. You must watch.
Derpstick said, "Jason, have you seen Deadpool and Wolverine? What's your take on it if you did see it?" Personally, I love it. I've seen it 3 times. We probably won't give our opinion then.
Yeah, you won't like our opinion.
You probably won't like mine either.
Jen and I barely got through it. Jen
I
fell asleep. Jen fell asleep
was
and
so
only woke up when
disappointed.
I started yelling about what the hell are we watching?
I'm like, I don't know. I fell asleep. I was very disappointed because
Yeah, we were very disappointed in it.
Deadpool is probably my favorite of all those movies.
It was the laziest Marvel movie that I've seen to date. It only plays to fan service, which it does great. But yeah, it was very lazy. No story worth telling.
I did not like
The build-up they did to it, I was very bummed out about because I was super excited about it. The build-up, everybody was telling me, everybody that went and saw it said it was fantastic. And then when I saw it, I was like, this is absolute trash.
Yeah, I was very, very bummed about that.
They also just like the beginning of the movie didn't make any sense.
None of it made any sense. They didn't go for story. There was no story that made any sense at all.
Like his like girlfriend was alive again, which she wasn't at the end of the last movie. So, like I don't.
It was 100% fan service, which I'm okay with, but it just isn't for me. I want a little bit of story baked in there. You could have kept it a Sony movie.
Valthorn, we are through all of the Black Friday, Cyber Monday orders, but we are still probably about a week fulfillment time. So, like, let's say an order was placed on Friday of last week, we'll probably be fulfilling it tomorrow.
But then we're slowly catching up.
And then we'll catch up after that point. Next week it should all even out.
It's been an absolute grind for the fulfillment team to get it done, but they are busting their humps.
They are doing a great job.
You guys blew it up yet again on a holiday.
Yeah.
Beyond what we could have prepared for.
Yeah.
It's not a good excuse, but we are working hard to make sure we're caught up by into this week for anybody that's been waiting a long time, and then everything else should be fairly quick and back to normal.
Yeah.
By beginning of next week.
Yeah. T. Schmidt said, "I don't think Jason will be around if Jen gets a Dateline." Well,
that's
I'm not
the
trying
thing.
to be on Dateline, so I don't think we have to worry about that. Gabe Delay said, "Jordan looks at a Trench Crusade mini. I don't think this is how animals are supposed to look." You think, Jordan? What gave it away? The diesel-powered spinal column?
That's what I said. That's the part you got hung up on? He's got a pinky growing out of his pinky. It's like, sheesh. Why are they messing with my realism with their fantasy?
HBO was home box office, yes.
OSOB Paints, exactly. It's just behind on packaging, not production. As a matter of fact, production is currently broken down and moving.
Yeah.
We were so caught up. We had more paint produced going into Black Friday than we have ever had in the history of the company.
Yeah.
So we had every product we needed. It was the amount of order volume has surpassed our ability to get stuff in boxes and get it out the door.
Yeah, no, we don't pre-sell anything. So if a person is able to order something on our website, it physically exists in this building. So it has nothing to do with, like we can't keep up with making the stuff. We don't make it on demand, but we do fulfill as orders come in. And that's the process of we've got people who go and grab all of the stock for the orders and set it aside for the team of 4 who put the things in the boxes and get the shipping labels on and get them all out the door. We're hundreds of boxes a day are going out.
I saw the pile for the poor
our mailman.
Poor mailman
comes
yesterday.
every day and just looks exhausted. Like,
He
I'm
did not
sorry.
look-
The
I
guy
asked him,
yesterday
I'm
was
like, hey,
not
talk
happy.
to your.
He
He's
was
like,
not-
He wasn't our normal dude, and he had his
Oh.
entire truck
Yeah.
loaded, and it was like spilling onto his seat while he was
Yeah.
driving. He took a picture of it before he left because he was so upset that there were this many boxes here and they weren't servicing us properly.
Good, because our guy, I was like, can you talk to someone? And I was like, can I get a business card for your manager? And he's like, I don't have any.
Doesn't
So I
work
gave
that.
him mine. I'm like,
That doesn't help.
help, call me, have him call me.
That doesn't help.
There may be some employment opportunities for order packers, but only good ones will stick around.
It's hard to do that because you'd have to do, a lot of companies will hire temporary holiday help, and we don't feel comfortable doing that because there aren't any parts of the process that can be done by people that aren't trained heavily.
Yeah.
I know that sounds silly, but you understand with like 120 plus colors, people have to be able to vet and QA the order at packaging.
Yep.
And training somebody to do that causes it's not hard, but it takes time, and then you don't want to invest that to have them go away after the holiday, right? So We basically just do what would you call it? A volunteered overtime.
Yeah.
We just put overtime on the wheel for those people that want it. It's not mandatory, but
Nope.
it's a hard thing, right? We know it only happens a couple times a year, and it just has got to be the thing. So.
Yeah.
Almost vacation time. What?
Oh, lucky.
Mr. Blue says we'll work for paint. Hired. We have that. That's cheap. We can do that.
Elf costumes required for the fulfillment team this time of year. That would be fun. Get them little elf hats.
That would be really funny.
I'm going to do all this wood and leather the same way we did on the wheel, Catherine wheel for the walking church.
What was your process for that before?
You were here for it. How come you don't remember?
Because I was
Fail.
also painting?
Fail.
Synthetic said, as someone who worked at an Amazon fulfillment center, I understand. Ours is extremely small scale in comparison to Amazon, but it's, you know.
We have like a major Amazon place here, and
Yeah.
I don't. We have a lot of people that have come to work for us that used to work there.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they keep quality control even a thing. But to answer Jordan's question, what I do with all the browns and stuff is I'll take dark umber, followed by light umber, and then I'll start mixing in something akin to olive flesh, if not olive flesh specifically, to get my highlight. And then we'll go back with washes and glazes over the top of everything to push the color into different areas for different materials. Like the leather will turn out to be a different color than the wood, even though I'll paint them exactly the same with the browns. Let the translucent colors that we'll use do a lot of the heavy lifting on it. Makes life a lot easier. When you can just say, hey, what all is going to be brown on this model that's either leather or wood.
I-beam. One of my least favorite things. I don't know why I hate the I-beam so much. It seems like such a silly thing that gets super overused for tactical rocks.
Wretched Blue Fox said, late to the stream, first time here. Do you have a video for how you got that rust on the Skaven?
Actually, yes, we do. So you can either watch the VOD from 2 days ago. 2 days ago? It was 2 days ago. Which is on our YouTube. And that takes the whole process from start to finish on the rusted effect on the metal here. Or you can also go to our YouTube as well and find a short that we did.
But you're on YouTube.
Oh,
I was going to put the link up, but
already on
you're
YouTube.
already there.
Or you can go through our shorts, and there's one that was done a little less than 2 years ago on a Lord of the Rings troll. Which is the same, it's the same, not the same recipe, but it's the same style. Process is exactly the same. You can largely use a bunch of different colors when you're doing this, but the process is the same. And to give you kind of a brief overview of the process, the whole idea is that you're starting with your rust colors first. So you stipple on the rust colors, starting with something like a burnt sienna or something like that, building up to like burnt orange and then some yellow ochre or something like that. And then you're doing that, leaving the colors from the previous step so that you have this kind of patchworky, rusty type color palette. And then over that, you dry brush with two different stages, one with a dark silver and the other with silver. And I'm doing a little bit of extra work here where I'm doing some like edge highlights with silver to just kind of make everything pop a little bit more. We did a little bit of like thin glazes of orange into the recesses to add a little bit heavier duty rust into those spots. But in general, that process will start to finish give you a really, really, really convincing rust effect.
Iterator, you appreciate the hand-checked packing slips and those stickers. We're very glad that you enjoy those. It's been a long time part of what we do. Source said the texture on the loincloth is so sweet. How did you do it?
Texture on what?
The
The
loincloth?
loincloth?
On here?
I'm assuming that's you.
Oh, that looks like a skirt.
I've been calling it a skirt. It's this is literally just going through and doing streaky brush strokes as I go with my layering. So I started with dark camo green, yellow green, and then faded green. And the faded green is where I did the pulls. Like you can see the actual linear texture in it. That's faded green, which is a fairly bright color, right? And then I went over the top of it with a brown wash to knock it all back down. And the brown wash acts as a blending agent. It'll blend all those colors together, dull them out, and then the texture and the edge highlight kind of fade into the rest of it. But I still maintain the texturing, the swipes, and then I'll go back and highlight it one more time at the end to, you know, bring the texture out if I want to. Real easy. Using very quick techniques on these guys so that they can be done but look good.
Yeah, I'm spending a little bit more time on this guy just because it's a little bit more of a centerpiece showpiece, like centerpiece model. So it's, you know, it's a large kind of centerpiece, and so I want to spend a little bit more time to polish it up a little bit more, so that it becomes a nice center point for the crew, the squad, team, army.
Seems weird to spend so much time on a model that's just going to die quick.
Whoa, hold on. What if it's already dead?
Seems like a little bit of a waste. Just going to get blowed up.
Just because something gets blowed up doesn't mean it can't look nice getting blowed up, Jason.
T. Schmidt said, without proper context, go through our shorts seems like a problematic phrase.
Yeah, if you jumped
you're
in here
not
at the
wrong.
right time, there's a lot of problematic phrases on this stream.
Shorts.
We do problematic very well on the Monument stream.
And Wretched Blue Fox said, thank you so much. It's really nice. Hey, Kool-Aid said, there's the Warwolf. Awesome.
Yeah.
King Tone said, how do you guys handle having a new favorite paint? Payne's Gray will always be my first, but Burnt Sienna has been looking a little too cute lately.
Burnt Sienna will get your attention very, very quickly. Any of the oranges tend to be paints that when you use them the first time for things like, you know, it don't have to just be rust. It can be that you're using it as a way to add some warmth to skin tones, as an underpinning for reds. They're great if you do non-metallic golds and things. The oranges really pop off. So burnt sienna, burnt orange, orange oxide, that whole family of colors is fantastic.
Spitfire Miniatures, thank you for the sub.
Spitfire, what's going on?
Panic Bomb said, King Tone, just don't let Payne's Gray know. Yeah,
Just
you
don't
never
Payne's
let the
Gray
main know what's going on the side.
There's a Dateline coming. You guys heard it.
Zach.
You guys heard it. So when she's on camera and she says, I was completely dedicated, I didn't have a side piece, you're going to be like, well, what about that time?
Classy Zach said, just got my expansion sets and fluorescents today. I also enjoyed the hand-checked package. Absolutely hooked on your paints. Thank you so much. We love
Nice,
to
thank
hear
you.
that.
Yeah, that's another thing. It sounds weird that, you know, it's we just aren't willing to give certain things up to make shipping go quicker.
Oh,
You know, so
yeah.
we don't sacrifice anything whenever we get more orders, and That's one of the things that makes it take a little longer this time of year.
And it's still very genuine too. We are very grateful for every single purchase that's
100%.
made. I mean, people are giving us money that they work hard for. It means a lot.
100%.
Derpstick said, I watched the short on how to paint leather armor. How would the process used in that video apply to something flatter, like a holster on a Space Marine?
Let me try and mentally go back through the process for that one.
It's basically just like what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
You're just laying your colors. You just want to
Yeah.
make sure that you're adding texture as you go. So for wood here, I'm being able to just do kind of vertical striping so that, let me zoom in some. When I go through and lay the texture in, you just want to make sure that you've got your brush stroke defining that, because there's no texture in this wood panel really. It has the 3 main verticals that separate the pieces of wood, but then the individual pieces don't. So I'm just making sure I break my brush strokes up in a vertical pattern so it looks like wood grain. And you do the same thing if it were a leather pouch. You would just not have your lines be so uniform and vertical. Maybe you do like like on this, if I wanted a scratch that went across the wood, I could start here, right? And skip the break in the panels, right? But I could have that, and then I could continue to highlight that line, and it would look like there's a notch in the wood. And you can do that with the leather, and then you could do, like another one that went across it the other way. So it looks like there's a nick. And then as you highlight with leather, you typically want to keep your brightest spots to be right around the edge and do more stippling for that than just an edge highlight. Like if it's a solid thing like wood, maybe I just take it and brighten the whole edge. But with leather, I probably want to just kind of dot my highlight at the brightest spots, because that leather gets beat up along the edge. So think about how the material acts, and then apply your color like that. These leather belts, very similar. I got rope, leather, skulls, all sorts of stuff that I'm painting with the same colors, but I will do different things texture-wise with them as I go to brighter colors, because the bright colors are what are going to provide your contrast. So that's where you're going to find the bulk of your texture. Don't forget to start it early. Like even right now with the dark umber, light umber, I'm starting to put the texture on there, right? Like those cross lines are kind of neat. The nick in the wood that creates, it's not highly visible with these colors because they're both fairly dark. But as I continue to highlight up, the dark part of that nick will be very important as I start adding brighter color. You can't just drop like your brightest brown or tan on there and make a scratch, because it looks like, a painted line. But
it does, as you like tilt the model certain ways, it already does start to look like a nick or like a scratch.
Yeah.
Like there's texture to it, like that it's recessed. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
OSOB Paint said, what are you going to do, or what do you do with the minis you paint on stream?
We put them on a shelf and pull them down when people ask us how we painted that mini.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Sometimes like these, we're painting warbands that might actually see the table for play. So these, may get played with. But in general, we have racks I have hundreds of miniatures here. And people say, hey, how do you paint red? And we say, well, here's red like I paint my blood angels. And we show you a blood angel and the colors, and we can work through it. So they're all really just visual samples at the end of the day that are at various stages of completion that we can show off to help you understand, process, color choice, anything that people ask on stream. Believe it or not, as we sit here and tell silly stories and have nerd talks, the reality is that we're really hoping to inspire you with various painting techniques and things that you see that catch your eye and make it cool, so that you'll go and have more fun while you're painting.
And hopefully there aren't too many people who are bothered by the fact that sometimes we even talk about cookies.
Oh, yeah.
Those conversations are also great.
I don't know how the cookies turned into simp cookies.
Oh,
along
well,
the
Yeah, that
way.
was weird.
Because it's just too wholesome for miniature painting.
Oh,
Apparently.
when we're painting Grimdark, we can't talk about
Exactly.
delicious cookies.
Exactly.
You don't think they have delicious cookies in the trenches? We're not going to ask what they're made out of, but I bet they have delicious cookies in the trenches. They might be like corpse starch.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want those cookies.
Synthetic said, out of curiosity, if my primer ends up with a glossy finish, can I hit it with a layer of matte varnish before painting and have the next layer of paint stick better?
Yes, 100%. It is 100% the kind of satiny, waxy finish of your primer that will cause paint layers beneath it to beat up.
Deadbeat Artist said, my favorite paint tends to be whichever one I am currently using.
Yeah.
I think that's probably Jason too.
Yep. That's 100% my whole thing. What's your favorite color? This one? Right
Ghost
now.
Hunter said, I recently learned that orange is the only color without a negative connotation for any of its tints or shades. I'm not sure what that means.
How do you mean?
Payne's Great keeps noticing it's not the first paint on the palette. Uh-oh.
Oh, whoa. Whoa. Who let Pains in here? Pains, I told you I was spending the night with a friend.
Gates of Paint Fluorescence are next on the list, and Noosh.
Nice.
We love you, Mo. Verendon said, I am once again asking you for the communicant flesh recipe.
Oh, okay. I started with royal purple, believe it or not. So all of the flesh tones that I'm painting are starting out with royal purple. It gives a really good kind of warmth and like blood under the skin, but also keeps an interesting color to it. So you'll see my shadows have that dark purple to them. Over the top of that on all the miniatures for this, I'm doing a flesh tone, not dissimilar to Advanced Flesh Tone, but unfortunately it's a cheater color. It's called number 14, and it'll be coming out at Adepticon next year. But Advanced Flesh Tone would work very much the same. And for the humans that I feel like are more lively, then I've been working into that with a little bit of bright warm gray into that to lighten it up. And then, playing around with glazing the Advanced Flesh Tone back over it. So really just a 2-color flesh tones over the purple in all the cases for these that are alive or in various states of used to be alive, like the guy on the wheel, right? And that'll get you there, okay? For this guy, I did the same thing, but then I went over the top of it with red gray, if I can find it sitting here on my desk someplace. Right, I started mixing in red gray to the flesh tones so that it felt a little bit more Frankenstein alive, right? Like undead brought back to life by Mad Doctor. Because the communicant, obviously, the story behind them, they take the communion of the Metachrist, I guess. They eat the flesh and drink the blood of the Metachrist, and it alters them into like beast mode. It's like their Bane juice.
I think it's cool that they have dudes like that are just like big.
Yeah, they're just like roided out because they
roided out on the Metachrist.
On the Metachrist, right? So I wanted it to feel like in the picture it's very, very pale, very sunless sky feel to it. And that's how I got there, was with the red gray as a move, as a tint instead. And then the bright warm gray again, which kind of has a yellowish green to it, is my final highlight color. And I'm just very careful with this to not use it very thick. I water it way down and then just kind of layer it up on the highlights. And you can see it's done very messy because we're going pretty quick, but it gives a really good look. Now, there's a little bit of cheating going on here because I also used a magenta wash and a Payne's gray wash. So you'll see that some of my shadowing moves back into kind of a dull bluish on top of the purple and such. Oh my God, I did it again.
No.
I swear to God,
Really?
dude. I keep flicking this thing out of my hand and breaking the mace. That's a second time. So sick. At least it broke like exactly where it did last time, I guess.
Did it really?
I don't know. I'm so mad at myself. I never do this, and I've done it twice in as many days. Here, it's going to be to the
Jackson
point where
Wrangle,
it
these
won't
are from
move
Trench
back.
Crusade. I don't know what the specific names are, but
Yeah, this is a communicant,
I'm painting a werewolf.
and he's painting the werewolf for the Heretic Legions.
Yep.
So again, I'm just going to leave this off. I apologize, guys.
Sarcastic Grandpa wants to know the requirements for being entered in the one-on-one session with Matt and Ben giveaway.
We have yet to announce that. We've been working back and forth on what the best way to gather all the entrants is, so we will be discussing that, and I will be releasing it tomorrow. so that we can have through the holidays all the entrants occur. But for those of you that were not here on last weekend's stream, Matt and Ben have graciously donated an opportunity to have a painting session with them that is inclusive of one initial, hey, what do you want to learn to do better session? And then a second session that is a follow-up to go over what they teach and how you were able to implement it, any questions you have. So just an absolute amazing opportunity. And we will be announcing that here on our Discord very soon. And Jen can put the link to the Discord, so if that interests you, with Ben Comets and Matt Seshwish as your instructors, will be an awesome opportunity for one lucky winner. And that will not take place until the new year. We will announce it probably as part of the new year. When we come back, we'll probably announce it after the holidays. Because we will not be streaming between Christmas and New Year's. We will be redoing the studio here in the office. And so the 24th, I guess, will be our last stream.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not here, so that's... But I think the 24th is the last stream we'll have. We're doing our big Christmas, our 12 Nerds of Christmas giveaway stream next week.
Yep,
next Thursday.
A week from today.
That's always a fun one.
Coming together real fast.
So mark that on your calendars, because yes,
it's like we are inviting you to our holiday party.
Yep.
The Monument Hobbies holiday, actually staff dinner is Wednesday, and then Thursday we have the Monument Hobbies stream party for the holidays.
Is it just me? Did we do them on the same day last year?
I don't think so.
It was really close. If not the same, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Probably not, because the
I don't know why
holiday dinner is always like during the week, and I feel like we maybe did that on a Friday last year. Well, or whatever, we did it on your last day, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
So.
Let's see. I missed here. Four Pig Bacon said, Jordan, I got you a pizza at Costco last night, but I ate it.
I'm so sad. Costco pizza. It's okay, I don't need
It
that
really
stuff.
Isn't. You tried to convince me that it was, and then we went and got it, and I was like,
You are totally okay to have an opinion of not liking
you
Costco
people are
pizza.
crazy. It's not horrible, but it's like I could have gotten Domino's and been just as happy.
I much prefer it to any delivery. Honestly, I'm starting to like it more than I like Barrows. Barrows is great. It's just so
Too cheesy.
salty.
They put too much cheese on it.
That might be why it's so
They
salty,
dump
but
so
the
much
sodium
cheese on that
content
pizza. Even when I ask for light cheese, it's
it's
much.
really off-putting to me. How salty it is, and that's when I get their pizza without a bunch of other like pepperoni and stuff. I get it without that sort of stuff, and it's just still super duper salty. So,
Source said, came for the painting tips, stayed for the fart jokes.
hey,
On really good days, Jason will bring down Hank and Lydia and will flesh out the sitcom they're working on. It's been a long time since we've had an update on the saga of Hank and Lydia.
It's like an old sitcom that needs a revamp.
Yeah.
This is like the right models to be painting for it too. They just don't have the same character to put into a Hank and Lydia framework.
It could be a what do they call it when they redo something that already exists, like when they like a remake?
Yeah, remake.
Hey, Kool-Aid said, cookies, unsub, unfollow. Exactly.
because of the cookies, or
Trench
because there are no cookies?
Trench cookies for the soul.
I'm not sure I would want to have a trench cookie.
Pretty sure cookies are illegal in the EU without consent. Jason, cookies in the trenches are made from the Metachrist.
I'm down with that. That's fine. That feels right. It tracks for my army.
Oh, what brings up another point, that it's because I'm a lady, and that's scary.
Wait.
You're not scary?
And
What
that
about
is
simp
scary.
cookies?
Yeah. Scary, and then when there's a lady around. This is Whiskey said, Jason, what is the Blood Angels recipe?
See, that's why we keep the miniatures around.
Yep.
Payne's Gray as a base. I like to start with either a dark purple or blue, a cool tone, to lock my shadows in for reds, rather than just a darker red. Although mahogany in our line is fantastic as a base for reds because it treads a fine line between a brown and a red, and can give you a really nice, dirty backdrop for any reds that you want to do. So you always have that as an option too. But I use Payne's Gray on them. And easier to see if I use like this guy, where the highlights aren't done yet. So Payne's Gray on the bottom, so you can see that kind of bluish, grayish tone for the shadows. Then Dark Plum. Dark Plum is the color that bridges the gap between the blue and the red. And then over the top of the Dark Plum is Bold Pyrrole Red. And then I mix a little bit of Warm Flesh in with Bold Pyrrole Red. And that makes this salmon-y color that is my highlight. And then I ultimately highlight it with Pale Pink, which is what gives the little shine spots to the armor. So not white, but pale pink. It'll look white because it's the brightest red that you have. But this is literally the exact same armor to the finish spot, except I haven't done pale pink on this guy. So it shows you the intensity that the pink gives and how it can change the whole look of the model.
Matthew Hardy said finally some Trench Crusade minis. They have been painting Trench Crusade for the past couple of weeks at least, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you can see all of this from the beginning. It's all on our past streams. You're right there on YouTube. You look at the past streams that they've done for the past couple of weeks, and it's all of these from beginning.
We were lucky enough to have Michael and Jamie on the stream.
That stream is on there as well.
Week ago Monday, talking Trench Crusade and having lots of fun. Yeah, we are big supporters of the entire brand. It's been around for years as just a free rule set, and to see it start coming to life with models that are so amazing is great. Been having a lot of fun with these.
Source, I can't answer that because I don't know the one you referenced, so we're both in the confused situation. But I will tell you that Costco is like a big warehouse store. So you go there to buy things in bulk. Oh. You need 500 rolls of toilet paper, you go to Costco.
Was Source asking about Costco?
Yeah. What's Costco?
I always forget that Source is not from around
in the
here.
US, no.
And
not from around these parts.
And as such, will likely have never been to a Costco before.
Ghost Hunter said, can Jason show us how to pin the mace together?
Unfortunately, as a 3D printed model, there's no such thing as pinning.
Yeah, you
just have to like kind of grind it and glue it again. If you try to pin this resin, it will shatter.
So no.
I have a drill that could do it, but I don't like showing that to people because most of you don't have the quality of variable speed drill that we have in the studio.
Expectations. Derpstick said, in the leather short, Jordan used mahogany as the base, I guess to make it look aged. I'd keep some of the mahogany visible on the holster, and the rest of it painted in dark flesh and orange or brown oxide. Orange-brown or orange oxide.
Yeah, the orange browns, the dark green brown, all those are fantastic.
That whole set is absolutely incredible for doing any and all kinds of leather that you'd ever want to do. That, and then having transparent brown in addition to that will like elevate the heck out of all of your leather and make it look really good.
So Ghost Hunter, I can't tell if your comment about the painting sessions and donating them, I can't tell if that's shady or not.
Shady? Really?
That he would donate it to someone who could make better use of it. And then he gave a couple of examples. Like they need extra help, so I'd give it to them.
I think Ghost Hunter is saying this in a
maybe someone who would maybe
sort of
enjoy
way.
it more.
Well, no, I think Ghost Hunter is saying this in a self-deprecating. As in, Ghost Hunter wouldn't be, is not very good,
it would not be worth it because it would take too much.
Yes.
I gotcha.
Knowing how Ghost Hunter often speaks about their own work. Your work is great. Everybody would be able to benefit from it, not just people who you deem to be better than yourself or potentially not better than yourself.
Spitfire, did you won a brush set in last year's holiday stream party, and you're
Awesome.
still using them? That's
Awesome.
awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm probably still using the same brushes when we gave you yours.
I think I've replaced one brush since then.
I think I'm almost caught up. In chat, Flippia for real said, "How do you paint 2 miniatures at once? Are you amphibious?"
Are you
Yes.
amphibious?
Exactly.
Yes. I am amphibious.
I don't know what that word means.
I know. That's why.
Let's see. JD Hetzer, any recommendations on how to use cyanoacrylate glue in a very dry environment so that it will actually cure? Isn't that what our
That's
glue
where
is?
we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in a
desert.
super
We're in
dry
Arizona.
climate, and
Works
we
just
use it
fine.
all the time. What are you having problems with? Are you putting it on and it's not adhering? Because sometimes it seems to, and I don't know the chemical aspects of this, but sometimes I'll put it on 2 pieces, I'll stick them together, and they won't even start to adhere at all. I'll take one side and actually wipe it with my finger. It's specifically my finger, and then re-wet it with the glue, and then they stick amazingly. I can only imagine. I've always blamed it on the surface of the plastic needing to be, defunct, so to speak. But I'm not sure. I can't tell you 100% what the root cause of it may be. But that's what's always worked for me. I've had to do it my whole life. I've used super glue for damn near everything, always. I hate plastic glue. I hate the smell of it. I hate the way it works. I hate the fact that it melts plastic, so I can't. It changes the model, so I can't fix things if I put it in the wrong place immediately. So yeah, I try to stay away from plastic melting glues as much as possible.
Matthew Hardy, I'm glad that you found us.
Yes.
Said first time tuning in.
Welcome.
You're some of the first I've seen painting the official models.
Yeah, well, they were gracious enough to give us both warbands, so we have full warbands for the Heretic Legions and the Pilgrims.
JD Hetzer, where are you? Where are you located? Captain Mannering said activator. Isn't that the stuff
You
that-
don't want to use the activator if the glue itself is not looking like it's bonding initially, because then you're forcing a bad bond, and I never trust that. Your results may vary, but I, through my course of hobbying, have never wanted to have something that didn't feel like it was working in the first place, kind of artificially put together to work. Now notice as I've done my grain with the brighter color, I've left the area where we created this dent. That's not really there, but see that area right there? That's that last line we painted, so I'm specifically painting that so that I can come back and highlight it underneath like this
Thank you for the bits.
and give it even more depth. Like so.
I like this name. I don't understand it, but Jesse, and then in quotation marks, got dolphins into heaven.
Heck
Said,
yeah.
Is there a
Nice.
glue besides super glue for resin?
No.
No, not really. I mean, there's other versions of super glues like, Goop, which is a glue meant to like put your soles back on your shoes, but they're usually too heavy to use for detail work. Super glue is legit the best thing you can use for it.
More resin.
Yep, more resin is actually not a bad answer, but it's a pain to deal with.
Activator? I hardly know her. JD Hetzer is in northern Minnesota. Once it gets to well below 0, it stops working as the moisture gets frozen out of the air. It's fine in the summer.
I mean, if you're keeping it in a air-conditioned climate, or I say air-conditioned, conditioned climate indoors, that should not be an issue. But like I said, try to, wipe one side of the model off and then add a little bit more glue and see if that does it for you.
Grim Dark Ed said, hello all. My algorithm on apps and social media is just as trench-filled as me. I open Twitch I open my Twitch stream and boom, Trench Crusade models.
Nice.
Nice.
It's listening.
It's
Yeah,
listening.
that's the scary part.
As much as it scares me, I'm glad you're here.
The Deadbeat Artist said, I believe one day they will stop spending all this money and effort into war and death and instead design a decent super glue that constantly adheres things together and not to my fingers. I mean,
Stop
it's
touching
adhering your fingers together, so it's kind of doing what you want.
Isn't that the goal? I mean, not the finger part.
And Grimdark had said, additionally, OMG, those look gorgeous.
There you go. Thank you very much.
These two are okay painters.
Yep. Doing all right.
World's okayest painters right here.
Flippy for real said baking soda is an activator for super glue.
Baking soda, water. You don't even have to use anything fancy. You can just go get some water.
Game Delay, what's concerning about dolphins? Mr. Blue said I also breathe on my glue joints to speed them up, like... Iterator bringing it back. Don't bake your cookies with lots of baking soda before wiping your super glue on your model.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
Okay.
The baking
we
soda
were
is an
talking about
activator.
this is the second time baking soda has been mentioned today, so baking soda and water mixed to dip rather than spray, or to drip rather than spray. Angzar Arts CA glue on one side, activator on the other. Boom. Even woodworkers use that trick to temporarily hold boards together for cutting.
Yep. Yeah, it's not a good permanent bond, but it'll be an extra set of hands when you need it.
Yep.
The only time I find myself using activator is when I have a very precarious hold on a model, or, you know, the way it touches the base is a little worrisome. And I might use activator around the feet, something like that. But try to stay away from this stuff because it gives you a false sense of security when you use it too much.
Hey, Jason.
What?
Do we happen to have those 70 mils floating around over there?
No, I never touched them.
Okay. You mentioned they were over there and I never found them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you didn't, I don't know where they are.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on still, Jesse, but I am here for it. Jesse got Dolphins into Heaven said, I must say I regret getting Dolphins into Heaven, but I already won the argument with a Bible thumper, so I'm not backing down.
I wouldn't back down either. We got you. It's a good name, nonetheless. You should make up a different story every time about why your name is that way. Like the Joker in Heath Ledger's Batman, where he just kept telling different stories about how he got the smile on his face.
What a great movie.
I'm still probably not gonna say that. That's a little too close. Game Delay.
Is Game Delay being a little bit of a monster today?
Can't trust that guy.
Sometimes you can't. You really can't. Game Delay knows it too.
100%.
Well versed in the knowledge. I think we're almost done.
I am not going to use the olive flesh as a highlighter for the skulls at this point. I do want to move them to a totally different color, so the dark umber, light umber gives me a base for those. But I'm only going to use the olive flesh on things that are leather and wood. And we'll go to bone for the skulls.
What Tomato said, yeah, dolphins are giant a-holes. Henry Cavill.
Oh, geez, it's the official Henry Cavill.
The official Henry
again.
Cavill is here.
We've been blessed by the official Henry
I
Cavill.
still feel like that's funny that you're allowed to have that name.
Yes. Very true.
It's where's Keanu Reeves when you need him? Because I think it's the same person.
Or Jordan.
Yeah.
Because they always show up together. The official Henry Cavill. This person, whoever it is, waits for there to be an announcement about Warhammer and Henry Cavill, and then comes through the miniature wargaming space on Twitch and makes their presence known.
It's what the 12 Days of Christmas the Inquisition gave to me. I could read it all if you'd like, but
I love it when Jen has to read stuff like that because she's like, I don't know what any of this means.
I would love to.
I don't know what any of this means.
Jesse said I can never grasp how to do glowing effects like that red mark on the bracer.
Start with white or whitish colors and then layer in translucent versions of the color you want the glow to be. And then just keep doing that back and forth until you feel like you've got the way you want it to be. Notice that the red or orange or whatever your color you're using should get darker as it moves away from wherever the point of the glow is. You know, the coils on a plasma gun or the eye socket on a Space Marine or whatever.
I happen to use fluorescence in my most recent foray into that. Worked really well. Fluorescent yellow and then fluorescent red.
Wad Tomato said that Henry Cavill showed up for Louise's return to streaming too.
Ooh. Fancy.
I mean, they probably know each other. They're both from the UK.
True.
They're both from the UK. There's only like 12
Makes sense
people
to
there.
me.
I assume everyone there knows each other.
Everybody knows each other.
Oh, for sure they do.
Better than just know each other. They know everybody's ancestors.
Yeah.
They sit around and talk about, oh, your great-grandfather owned the cobbler down the road.
At least Henry is spreading cheer. Exactly. Is it cheerful? I don't know. I don't know what any of that stuff means, so I don't know.
I if it's Inquisition related, I'm sure none of it is cheerful. Is there 12 Psychers screaming? Nope. 11 Flamers purging. Depends on your point of view.
Jen likes that one.
10 drones a hovering. Neutral. 9 wraiths a gliding.
Bad.
Bad. 8 demons
Sure,
raging.
Horrible.
Definitely bad. 7 rockets blasting. Horrible, maybe.
That rockets with a K.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Then it's great because it's orcs.
Yeah. 6 squigs a bouncing.
That's okay.
That's okay. 5 glowing Omnissiah rings.
5 glowing Omnissiah rings.
4 Lehman Russ. 3 flayed ones. Ooh, no. 2 Scarab's Orbs. Definitely not. And a monolith under the tree.
Funny
That's
nonetheless.
great. Yeah, that's great. Super fun.
Angzar Arts said, I just found out the other day that plastic glue is butyl acetate, which is nail polish remover and dissolves super glue.
Yes.
Chemistry is fascinating. Game Delay said, I'm entirely honest about how much you can trust me. If you're ever unsure, I'll let you know.
We also know this. You've marketed yourself such since the early days.
Okay.
You're not gonna fool us anymore. We know y'all too well now.
I think back to many episodes of Better Call Saul every time Game Delay speaks.
That's funny.
They share a profession.
And they
Angzar Arts said, I don't find it funny at all. I have a totally normal heterosexual man crush on Henry, and I feel teased. We're not teasing.
You feel what?
Teased. I feel teased.
Oh, because of the guy, because of official Henry Cavill not being really Henry Cavill? You can still have your man crush and play out that fantasy in your head while he's here. That's probably what he's going for anyway.
Yeah, I think that's his objective.
The if it was the real Henry Cavill, I've said every time how pissed I am because we've contacted your management a bunch
Yes.
and never gotten a response. So you need to have words with them. Official Henry Cavill.
Prove it's not really him. Prove it.
Mr. Nice English Man who doesn't return your emails. Not like the whole
Nice,
world's trying to get in touch
handsome
with you or anything. Jeez.
Englishman. who
It's
paints
not like
miniatures.
the whole world's trying to get in touch with you or anything.
We also, I mean, the only thing that makes me think it might be the real Henry Cavill is because, given all the contact he has with GW, he's still coming to the Pro Acryl stream,
Oh, that's funny.
which shows he has taste in paint. So that's good.
Fantastic. Louise could be our in to HC, right? Because they're both from the UK, so they know each other. We should just ask her.
Yes.
Hey, hook us up with Henry.
That's how that
We
works.
know you guys are friends.
If you're from the UK, then you know
You
Henry
all know
Cavill
each other.
intimately. You're friends.
Deadbeat Artist said, thing is, you're not allowed to say it isn't festive, or else the Inquisition will throw you into the festive gulag.
See, I'm just keeping the status going here with vertical texture lines in the wood. They don't have to be crazy, swirly, not filled wood grain. You could do that if you want, but it gets really hard on small things to keep that going. So just make sure you keep your vertical lines, your grain going in the same direction, and it works pretty well.
Oh, so B Payne said, wait, is Baby J slap chopping?
Yes.
No. This is not what I am doing.
Yes.
If there was ever a celebrity to join the stream, I think Henry Cavill is very high on the list of probable ones. I mean, he's already been here multiple times.
Multiple times. Keanu,
He's practically a regular.
and Henry
the official
Cavill.
Keanu Reeves. The official Jordan Lamb.
Yep, that one showed up too.
That was funny
That was funny.
because Jordan was standing right next to me.
Correct.
And he was also in chat. So that made me really understand how deep the Matrix goes.
Yep. I can be both here and not here at the same time, Jason.
Papa Chicken, thank you for the sub. Your day went by so quickly you almost forgot the stream. Oh, well, hopefully it was a good day.
I was going to say that's a good and a bad thing.
Yeah. I hope the official Keanu Reeves shows up soon.
Official Henry Cavill's going to log into that account right now.
You know what sound porcupines make when they kiss?
What?
Scritches? Scritch, 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 scritch.
Ow.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, that works
Ow.
too.
That makes sense.
Oh no, Mr. Blue. Mr. Blue said, I just saw an amazing paint job on a mini I'm assembling right now. Kind of lost motivation to paint it.
No,
Oh.
No way.
not the way that works.
What model is
Use
it?
that as inspiration.
Yep, 100%. Look at all the cool things you can do with it. Forget about comparing your paint to whomever else you see on the internet. Compare it to the last thing you painted. 100%. The only thing you should be worried about as an artist is comparing it to your last work of art at any given time. Because that's where you're going to see your progress, and everybody else's progress is on their own time. It's fun to watch people who have social media accounts and how their painting grows over time and how they do stuff. Hopefully it inspires you, gets you going. But don't ever let it bog you down.
Wow, Tomatoes just said now we just need the official Kevin Bacon. We've already had him.
So
we-
now we know
we
Kevin Bacon's
We already
real.
know him.
He's my BFF.
Yeah.
Jason's BFF, Kevin Bacon.
Tech Elf said, so if Henry likes Pro Acryl, does that affect his Warhammer TV deal? That's what we were wondering.
That's why it's been taking
Set.
so long for him to get the deal done.
Like,
He's
we
been
see
really
you.
holding out.
He
for
won't
us.
back
We've
down.
noticed you in the Monument Hobbies stream, Henry.
Yeah, he won't back down from.
It says right here in section 27, article 94 of your contract with us that you must sing the praises of our paint only. Angzar said you could probably get Henry to make contact if you got fans to signal boost the message. He's pretty appreciative of his fans.
Well, there you go. Go for it.
Get him in touch with us.
All right, everybody. We need all of you to start tagging Henry Cavill in comments on Monument Hobbies posts.
Get with the real paint.
We know he's on Instagram because some of us in this room follow him. He's handsome. I can't help it.
It's just like because some people in this room follow him.
That's odd because I'm in this room and I don't follow him.
I also happen to not follow him to the best of my knowledge and recollection.
Dateline chat. Dateline. Remember this when the Dateline episode comes out.
King John said, I'm a little upset no one recognized me for my celebrity status as the funniest person in the world. So my son tells me.
So my son tells me, Dad, you're funny. That's not what he means, by the way.
I was going to paint a bipedal polar bear, but real internet dad did it better than me.
Oh, hush. Real internet dad.
Real internet dad.
I will not have that be my moniker.
It's Slow Fuse or Jason.
Flippia said, I learned that lesson from you, and I used it to encourage my daughter in her art, and she now does amazing animal art.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yep. Angzar Art said you should stick with the ultimate opponent, yourself.
You are your own worst critic and best friend at the same time, and you should utilize both of those
Yep.
in a positive way.
Pedro said, hi, everyone. Wise words. Just as you see someone doing work for 5 minutes, it didn't really take 5 minutes. For some
True.
people, it can be 20,
True.
40 years, or 5 minutes. Yeah,
40
everybody's
years.
going to be different.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why, you know, I love the world of content creation in our hobby, because it gives people so much of a good starting point no matter where you are, what you like. You can find content to help you go down that road. But I also hate the fact that people are so, you know, pronounced in their, you know, check it out, learn how to paint in 5 minutes. You know, it's like, come on. It kind of gets people scared because they're like, I tried that for 5 minutes and it doesn't look anything like that. And then they manage their expectations based off on this person that has 50,000 followers that's telling them, if you can't paint like this, what are you even doing wrong?
It's so easy, anyone could do it.
Yeah. So it's a love-hate that I have with content creation. It's like...
Back to Henry Cavill being responsive to his fans. Punisher said, that's BS. I commented on a pic he posted once, and he didn't even heart my message.
See?
Jerk.
See? Unfollowed. Never watch another one of his movies.
Tech Elf said, stalking Henry Cavill. Message received. Panic Bomb wants to know if we can also try to get Keanu on board.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? He's fantastic. I don't think that he paints miniatures.
I mean, I
or
would be
plays
funny
games, but you never know.
to hear a conversation between the two of you about motorcycles.
Well, yeah, I actually saw him at the Ventura Fairgrounds in California for the Ventura Roadster show. He was there, and there was some guy that was there. I didn't get to talk to him. You know, I don't fanboy like that. I'm kind of anti-fanboy. But he was there talking to somebody who was building cafe racers. He's a big, he's in that world, which is cool.
What's a cafe racer?
Like old British bikes.
Oh, okay.
Called them cafe racers because the guys that rode them in England, you know, basically racing from cafe to cafe was the joke. And it just kind of stuck.
Oh, got it.
Gabriel said, we have a running disagreement at work about who the funniest person we know is. Problem is, one co-worker keeps coming up with good evidence it might be her.
Ha!
She sounds like a fun person to work with.
Yep.
Bakamaru said, hey, real internet dad, make a short out of Jordan's non-metallic custodies and we can spam send it to Henry Cavill.
Not real internet dad.
Well, tomato. Yeah, work on that. You're a good one. Ninjon painted and sent a model to Henry. Oh, maybe. We do have a connection to Ninjon.
I mean, did he just send it into the ether? Like, attention Henry Cavill, UK?
Angzar said, I'm glad to see an expert painter dry brushing. Too many advanced painters shame people who use dry brushing.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great tool.
We are missing a little bit of it, though, Jordan.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I'll zoom out a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, because we're just getting the stuff in the background.
Yeah. I'm almost done. I got one more guy.
Not worth painting unless I can get a golden demon after a month. I'm sure that is sarcasm.
I would probably.
Oh, what did I miss, Papa Chicken? You cut yourself? Nothing deep, but a good slice. Took care to move the finger right in front of it, out of the way, but the thought didn't occur to me that the knife might go another ½ inch further to the other finger. Oops.
Oh,
Oops.
ruh-roh.
Always cut away from your fingers, kids. I tell you this all the time. You keep doing what I do instead of what I tell you to do.
Yeah.
Dad, I learned it from you.
Dad, I learned it from you.
That one I couldn't even argue with because I cut towards my thumb all the damn time.
Well, Tomato said that's like saying I'm not going to make this pasta because they make it better in Italy. That's ridiculous. I'm not going to make that pasta because I'm lazy, and Taco Bell is right there.
How do we get from pasta to Taco Bell?
Nice.
Because it's right there.
I wish we had Fazoli's still.
It's coming back.
Fazoli's.
It's at the airport, I think.
I did see one
And I think
someplace.
there's
Maybe it
one
was
far
at the
away.
airport.
I think there is one far away. Bet Henry Cavill would like Trench Crusade.
Not right now, he wouldn't.
Monument Phil said, fun fact, Henry Cavill is my cousin. Don't fact check that.
Don't fact check that.
You never fact checked the fun facts.
No.
That takes away the fun.
Yeah, it takes away the total fun of it.
Everyone always says cut away from self, then continues to cut toward fingers. That is true.
It turns out it just feels like the right way to do it. It's hard to break that habit.
King Tone, you can ask. I don't know if anyone will answer from our side. Maybe they will. King Tone said, if it's okay to ask, I've never painted with Citadel paints. What's the point of their base and layer paints? Is it thickness or opaqueness
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah, they started a deal a long time ago to try to break down the way they teach their painting into actual paints. And the reality is that it kind of sets a bad precedent because that's not the case for every color. So it winds up where you have a bunch of paints that act totally different from one another. He actually is wearing mittens, but I'm outlining it like fingers. You can see there's not really fingers here, but there's like a forefinger and then it's like mittens. So yeah, it was a valiant attempt to, kind of go along with the heavy metal way of painting.
Heavy metal.
It's heavy metal, so that you could have, a layer paint. So that's a base paint. That's what you put on the model first. And then you use your layer paints to go up to your midtones and highlights. And it's a teaching method made into commercial product. And that just isn't how paint works. So it's difficult. And it creates a situation, like I said, where then all of your paints kind of act differently because it's pigment based as to the opacity of a particular paint. It's not how you make the paint. I mean, it can be. You can force it like they have. But great idea in terms of, being able to take and reach for a product that does this step. But I think it's trying to create silver bullets where they don't exist.
Back to how did we get from pasta to Taco Bell? Wad said, it's me. It's always about Taco Bell. Taco Bell is my Kevin Bacon.
Taco Bell is my Kevin Bacon.
And Bud, get you a video? Bud, go to Taco Bell real quick. Get the person at the checkout window at Taco Bell to be like, Wad, I think of you always.
That'd be so good.
Game Delay said, Monument Phil bragging about his connection to Henry, but clearly failing to get him to come on stream. I bet you're not even trying, Philip.
Nope.
It's true. I'm sure he's not.
This is the story of our lives. See what I put up with, chat?
Phil said, gotta be respectful of family and love him for who he is, not what he can do for me.
He had that one planned out.
Oh,
Philip
geez.
planned that one. That was good, Phil. Kudos on that answer. That was a good one.
King Tone said, thank you. Concept feels a little silly. I love Pro Curl for the consistency. Thank you.
Yeah, and you know what? Pro-Acryl is 100% a paint built on my philosophy of painting. And it is that you should be able to ask of your paint anything you need it to do at any time. And with regards to miniatures, that's what Pro-Acryl does, is that you pick the color you like, and it will do anything you need it to do. You can airbrush with it, you can base paint with it, you can layer with it, you can glaze with it, you can turn it into a highlight by tinting it, mix it with any other color and get what you expect. Use it however you like. Turn it into washes with our glazed wash medium. Turn it into a subtractive weathering thing with Noosh. It's up to you. It's that, use things in terms of the color they are, and what you think that color would be good for is up to you to just turn it into that as you go. All right, so that's with the mix. So this highlight is a 50-50 mix of olive flesh and light umber. And now we'll just go to olive flesh by itself.
Getting all the gribblies done,
Jade.
Jason.
Yep.
Hello.
Knocking
Yep.
them
Whole
out.
crew here today.
What's up, Jade?
So you can see how much brighter olive flesh is as I get it on my thumb palette here, right? It looks like a white almost compared to all of the other mixes that we've been doing. So this is something you want to do sparingly. You don't want to overdo it, but I do want to amp up the contrast at like the top of these grain marks. This line, this scratch that we've created. I don't want to do the whole line, but I want to catch the spots where it hits the edge of the panels there.
Angzar Art said I prefer slop chop. That's where I get drunk and try not to mess up an entire army.
Feels about right.
Slop chop.
I have painted drunk before.
But that was fun.
I mean, we used to drink on stream.
Yeah.
Colonel, we are getting caught up. We are through all of the Black Friday through Cyber Monday orders. There were lots and lots of those. While the crew was working on all of those, more orders continue to come in, just regular orders. So we're still a little behind, but it's leveling out for sure. Crew's been working overtime. They're doing a fantastic job, and yeah, working hard around here.
Bill and Jen have stayed way too many long hours.
Which, Philip, I don't know if you're still listening. I haven't had a chance to talk to you about it today because we've both been so busy. I can't stay late today, so I don't know if you are, if anyone is planning on it. Bud, you missed the Taco Bell Grande. I miss the double-decker tacos.
Ha.
They were so good. They brought them back for a minute. When they did their, they do that once in a while. We'll bring back some old stuff. I don't know why they ever removed it.
I miss the old double XL nachos.
They did used to have nachos Bel Grande too.
Yeah, because I really like their nachos.
Nachos Supreme kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like that, but you got it with steak and it had some more stuff on it, and it was more of a traditional nacho dish.
They're doing the retro thing right now. Why do they have double-decker tacos? If not, I don't care.
Double-decker tacos. Interesting. Are these just exactly what I imagine that they would be?
It's a hard shell taco, just a standard taco. And then they take the soft shell, soft tortilla, and they put refried beans on it and wrap it around, and it gives the taco. So it's
with a
hard
cozy
shell
little jacket
and
on it.
soft.
Yeah.
Like a little hug. Delicious.
Like a little hug.
They have one now, I think, that they stick it together with cheese. It's not the same.
Got it. Okay. I was about to say I could have sworn that they have something.
Ooh, that's a
kinda
link.
Whoa.
It's not a link for us. So we don't click links, but yeah. Papa Chicken was saying, some days my hand is super shaky. Not usually, but some days. Aside from stabilizing my hands with elbows on the table and wrists together, do you have any other tricks?
Fingers together. Use your... Here, I'll show you. But I don't just stabilize with my wrists and my elbows. I also stabilize with my fingers as well. So you'll notice I rest my pinky on the edge of the base, and I kind of have the paintbrush like I'm holding a pencil. And with the amount of things that I'm holding together and pressure that I'm putting on my hands, it gives me a really, really, really steady hand for doing things And anytime you have a part of your body or your hand that's like you're worried about having shaking, just try and have it rest up against something. Be it
Somebody clip that.
model. What did I say?
You said anytime you're worried about having part of your body start shaking, you should rest it up against something.
Oh gosh. You guys.
I just said clip it because I thought that was great.
Jason,
I'm not
get your head
trying.
out of the gutter.
I'm not trying to derail you. I'm just saying somebody should clip that because that was great. That was class A Jordan.
I love this. Flapjack said, I find drinking while painting helps me make decisions super quickly. Are they always the right decisions? No comment. Next question.
Well, that's just drinking in general, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. The Hive is back. We are Mike. Said, work sucks. Don't do my job. Wait, yes, you can do my job if you want. Don't do it for the love of all that is holy.
Hi, Mike.
How are you?
Very busy, it sounds like.
Yeah. Oh, Henry Cavill. Beautiful work.
Henry, tell your managers to answer their emails.
We're going to start spamming your Insta with comments about ProAcryl.
Comments about ProAcryl.
Not a ghost, but maybe. Not a ghost said, I is bad. Hope is you good.
Hope is you good?
Yeah.
Hope is you good.
Hope is you good. We good is.
We good is hope is good
Yes. You won't hurt them.
He won't hurt them.
Spam him all day. He's not going to hurt them.
He's not going to hurt them. He doesn't like my posts.
Uh-oh. Someone has summoned a ghost. We have two ghosts here.
Uh-oh, look out.
Ghost?
Well, we have ghost and not a ghost. Ghost hunter and not a ghost. No one said ghost. It said not a ghost. It's not a ghost.
Not a ghost.
Nothing to see here, ghost hunter. Bought someone a base set of ProAcryl and one of the airbrushes. They're mad because it's too good.
Only in our world would we have people who are mad because things are too good.
You're a horrible person. Why would you do that to me? Why would you buy me something so great?
That's exactly what a ghost would say.
And like I said earlier, when doing the highlights on the edges of leather, even at this scale that's tiny, I'm stippling the highlight on so that the edge isn't a straight line. I might hit it with a little bit of a line like right here towards the brightest spot, but then I'll start doing bumps of the brush to let the stippling, those little dots, blend it off into shadow. And it also creates a texture because each of those little hits with the brush, those doots, will have a little bit different size on the model. So visually we'll give it a little bit of texture. You can put a couple of scratches on there if you want, wherever. A lot of times when people sculpt belts and straps and things, they'll put little dents in it, and I'll take a little swipe of the brush to bring it down. So now you can see there's a little bit of texture being formed on there, and it's all super simple stuff. It just takes a little bit of time.
Now that makes sense. They're mad because it's so good, and now they want the rest.
Ah.
Because Mike only got him the base set. Derp6 said, okay, I think I understand base coats and layers now. For leather, if the base is mahogany, keep it in the corners of whatever you're painting as leather while the rest is painted in dark flesh.
Keep it in the corners? How do you mean keep it in the corners?
I feel like maybe Like you leave some of it showing?
Oh yeah.
Is that what
You're always
saying, Basic, I
painting
think?
towards the point of highlight, right? So whether that's on something like a band like this belt, the highlight is along the edge, and so I'm painting towards the edge. But like on the skin, the pecs are kind of like semi-spherical, and so it's pushing the highlight from the dark color down here to the bright color up here. And so you're always pulling your next color further away from the shadow and closer to the highlight, right? There's a quick little video we put up on YouTube of me talking about this, where it's like how to stage your layers from the first coat is covering the whole area. That is usually your shadow color. I know I'm doing it with a bright color here. Your next color covers 50 to 75% of that and leaves this much of your shadow color showing. Then your next color should cover about that much and leave this much of your midtone, and so on and so forth until you run out of room on the piece that you're painting, the part of the model, whether it's his fingers or whatever. That's the general gist of how to layer paints. Whether you're going from dark to bright or bright to dark is irrelevant. You can choose along the way. But your first color should cover the entire area, and then your second color withdraws from that a little bit and doesn't cover as much. And you just keep playing that game until you run out of space. And you'll get used to balancing the use of those colors so that there's the right amount of your shadow color showing, highlight color, midtone. You'll know very quickly if you cover up your midtone and you lose that color, then you'll have too much contrast on the model because your highlight will sit too close to your shadow. And it'll start looking too bright. And so you'll paint back over with your midtone color again.
And Drip 6 said, and for weathering and damage, put orange oxide and orange brown on the edges that would get those kind of colors as damage. I'm applying the colors that Jordan used in the leather short.
Good, very well, yeah. Yeah, that's a good choice. I typically do like weathering along the edges in like a black brown. So much of what we do that shows weathering on its edges is metal, right? And so I like black brown because it's not quite as high contrast to my brightness as black, pure black would be, and already has kind of a dirt feel built into it. So that's what we used on the highly bullet dinged Timberwolf, was black brown with a sponge, and then you just highlight each of those little scritches and stuff with stippling, and it gives you a really good textured battle worn metal. That's just black brown. I didn't do anything else to the scratch color. You could have gone in and done like burnt orange dots or something in there to make it look like they had rusted, but I wasn't trying to make it look like it was that old in the, you know, the junkyard feel. But the black brown just gives it a good chip color. And it works really well. It's really the highlight on the chips that brings it all to life, though. That's what gives it depth, makes it look like those things. If you walked up and rubbed your hand across the surface of this, you'd feel the little divots where the paint was chipped away. So highlighting takes all the time and makes the weathering really work.
Isn't rust usually a light base coat and dark subsequent coats?
For rust, I usually build up rust from dark to light.
It's brighter as it gets towards the point of oxidation, which is wherever the light hits it, the sunlight, the UV. So we do like a dark base coat with it, and then you work up towards a little bit brighter rust color, or even yellow ochre is my favorite to start highlighting it with.
I love yellow for that.
Orange oxide, the new orange oxide works really well though.
Yeah.
So
Burnt
that's
sienna,
good
burnt
too.
orange oxide, yellow ochre, orange brown you could even use for that.
Yeah, orange brown.
There's a lot of really fantastic colors that you can use for that sort of thing. And for the most part, any combination of three of those colors at different values will work really, really well.
It's 346.
What?
Yep. And Mr. Blue said, what would you use for an undercoat for yellow? I hear pink.
No. I actually really like using, I've fallen around to using orange brown a lot. This has pretty solid coverage. Like amazingly good coverage. So if you're trying to just go yellow, do this, mix this in with some golden yellow, and then do golden yellow right on top of it, and you'll have like a really, really nice, like saturated yellow color. The reason that we don't typically recommend using magenta or pink, like what you've probably heard, is because the color that you're putting underneath the yellow, in this case the pink, is not a natural shadow color for yellow. So in places where the yellow is not completely covered, or in areas where it's a little bit more patchy, you're going to see some of that magenta or some of that pink come through, and it's not going to look natural, right? A natural shadow color for a yellow is going to be like an ochre brown, or like a kind of dark brown green color. So utilizing those colors to support the yellow that you're building up on top of, or supporting underneath, so that when you build the yellow on top of it, it has all this saturation of similarly hued color beneath it, that the yellow actually has really good coverage on top of it and will maintain its really nice saturated color. Any of those colors that you have really transparent like pigments for, so things like magenta, things like yellow, orange, you always want to support those colors underneath with other similar colors that are on, like, of similar hue to them, that have better coverage.
There is no mic. Thank you for the sub.
Like a good example, if you check out the Hazard Stripe short from today, you can see how quickly you can build up yellow in like 2 or 3 steps. Because the building up the yellow on that took maybe 2 or 3 steps, and it's like 2 colors or something. It's really, really, really simple. So check out that short on our YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. It's all over the place. But we posted it up on Wednesday.
Yes. It's on
And there's a methodology for it. It comes out tomorrow.
coming tomorrow. It's on YouTube. You don't, like, you can go right to, there's a whole section of shorts on YouTube, so you don't have to scroll through Instagram and stuff.
Papa Chicken, I do not
Oh
care
my gosh.
What?
for Mike and Ike's. Oh my, Mike. Oh.
Okay, time to mute the notifications. How do we do that again?
I don't.
Or maybe it doesn't when there's this many. Is that what we determined?
Oh, it does.
Oh.
You just reach down and hit the X, like on the desktop audio, like it is right now.
Yeah.
So it already was off.
It's already off. Okay. I've been hearing stuff though. So.
Mike just gifted
50 subs.
tier 1 subs.
Mike, I'm gonna need you to calm down.
Mike, you crazy.
Holy cow, Mike.
Everybody in chat, if you just got a gifted sub from the craziness that is Mike, the Hive Mike,
The Hive Mike.
please reach out and say we love you, Hive
Resistance is
Mike,
futile.
but quit it.
You have
Wow, what a
become part of
nerd.
the Hive Mike.
You have now become part
Wow,
of the
what a
Hive Mike.
nerd.
What a nerd.
What a nerd.
Give some hugs, handies, and much love.
Mike said that was a long time coming.
Hope you're doing well,
Oh
Mike.
my.
Bakamaru said, congrats to all the new subbers. Mike, seek help.
Yeah.
Mike, you're awesome.
No name, I've run out of ideas.
Spreading some holiday
Oh.
cheer. Giving everyone
There is
access
no
to
Mike.
the emotes. There we go. I guess this is where I mute, huh? Mute us. You guys can't hear those, right?
They
Is that-
can't.
They don't?
We hear them.
We can, right. That's where I mute us.
You have to turn your you can mute your computer.
There we go.
There we go.
Done.
Woo.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Yes, Papa Chicken, I was about to say
tired.
that, and then it kind of got lost in all those subs, so thank you for retyping that in there. Papa Chicken wants to know if you guys are working on any cool tone metallics. It'd be handy to contrast the magnesium. For now, I'm mixing in some sky blue, but I would like to have a premix.
A premix of what?
A cool metallic to contrast the magnesium.
A cool metallic to contrast the magnesium. Silvers are cool because they have a blue component to them. Is that not what you're talking about? I think that transparent blue in your metallic is better. When you say a cool metallic, I mean, other than our silver having a level of blue content that it does, I don't know that I would be looking to do a whole lot different in cool metallic. But let me know what you're thinking, right? Because a little bit of transparent blue in with silver works great.
Tomato, you are correct. Mike is an absolute legend. Tomato said, I think all Monuments metallics are pretty cool.
That was the right answer.
Mike said, have I missed any new releases? Or was the most recent release still the sprays?
Yeah,
Still the
sprays.
sprays.
Did you see the other sprays?
Yeah, you were here for the ColorForge announcement, right?
Yeah.
ColorForge Wave 2 is supposed to hit, I don't know, it's supposed to hit today, but I haven't gotten word for that yet, so. Our goal is that next week we're hoping we have Wave 2 colors, which include like Salamander Green, some of the other Imperial Purple.
Those will just be available right away, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Convict Orange, Imperial Purple, Salamander Green, Raven Black.
Oh, is Convict Orange is a primer color?
Yeah.
Okay. We got an email right before I walked in here that said, let me know when I can get Convict Orange. And I didn't understand it. I was like, are they talking about like wanting us to make like a prison jumpsuit color orange?
Yeah.
But I didn't realize, because I can't tell which support is.
Oh, right off the bat, you have to dig into it.
Yeah.
That's funny. When can I get Convict Orange?
It said, I saw that. Sprays are hard for me due to wind. Still got all the Monument ones because I don't have impulse control.
We are just acutely aware.
Still soon on airbrush matte varnish.
Still soon, yeah.
Still soon. Our bold sense of humor model is still in consideration.
It's on my to-do list to figure out the viability and how we would march around getting that done. I don't have a good answer for you right now. I would assume it's a no until you hear otherwise.
Brush on primer?
Yes, about the same time as the varnish is our hope. Hopefully very, very soon.
What? I don't get that. Wad said if you go to a McDonald's, you too could get some Convict Orange. I don't get that.
I don't get that either.
Imagine Voice said skin recipe Cliff Notes.
Oh, for the skin that you're working on, or not working on your guy, Jason.
I assume, yeah.
This model?
Yeah.
It's royal purple as a base, followed by advanced flesh tone, then mixing in red gray and bone, or bright warm gray, sorry, not bone, into the advanced flesh tone to get the kind of dull, nearly undead gray that I've got going on with it. And
Mike,
then I did a wash of Payne's gray and a little bit of magenta in the recesses of the muscles to give it that, lively look.
Mike, if you are asking if new releases will be in 24 or 25, definitely 25. We don't have anything else new coming out in the last couple weeks of this year.
Nothing major. Like we said, just the matte varnish, hopefully the brush on primers, will still hit before the end of the year, but
Oh, it's December 12th.
I know.
Oh.
They were supposed to be here already. So
Oh. Sorry, that was my bad.
we are moving
I thought we
production,
were
so
closer to
we're waiting on raw material, and then
the end
in
of
the
the year.
downtime we're moving production, so they may get lost until the beginning of January, just based on production over at the new building not being up and running fully, because production obviously has to produce things we already sell first, and then we can
Sorry.
move from there. But we'll keep you posted.
My bad. No guarantees though.
Yeah, no guarantees.
So put it on your 25 budget. Not a big deal. You don't have to get it immediately. Jesse got Dolphins into Heaven said, I hear good things about your paints, but I have a huge backlog of other paints to use first.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
You just donate those
What
to
if
people.
they would accidentally spill? Oh no.
Yeah, donate those to the less fortunate. Buy some program. Use the proceeds to get some program. We are the single largest contributor to donated paints in the history of the world. People get Procurl and they immediately give all their other paints away.
It's really true. Like, what do I do with my old paints?
But yeah,
Donate 'em.
the reality is you paint the best paint you have in your collection is the one that gets the job done the way you love it. So if you got stuff you like, keep using it. We are big fans of people enjoying their painting, regardless of the tools you use. We just happen to make what we believe are the best tools, as being longtime miniature painters. We develop the things we like to use. So that's the one thing you can know about everything you find on the Monument site is it's something that I built because I wanted to have that.
This guy's got so much armor on him. I didn't even realize how much armor this guy has on him. It's crazy. I thought this guy was like just wearing robes. This guy's got like straight up like armor. What are you gonna work on after you're done with this guy, Jason?
I mean, I only have 11 other guys you can see here. I got to finish those. Well, that's more than 11. 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 more dudes. Is that right? 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, 13. Holy crap. It's all the grunts. I got to get all the regular pilgrims complete.
Started knocking out all the
So that'll be the
heretic
next thing.
troopers today myself. Doing a very simple workup, a little bit of dry brush over the top with some brown gray with a little bit of bone in it to get that nice little light warm gray. Then just some red oxide for the helmets so far. We're going to build that up, make it a little bit brighter, and we're going to turn this wrong way.
You say you all know Die Hard is a Christmas movie, but what about Fellowship of the Ring? You're asking if Fellowship of the Ring is a Christmas movie? Or does it fit a holiday?
According to Christopher, it is.
Definitely not a Christmas movie.
According to Christopher, it is in fact a Christmas movie.
You are so wrong, dude.
Left.
You are so wrong. It's not Earth. There is no Jesus in the Lord of the Rings. Sorry.
There is no Jesus in the
I hate to
Lord
break
of
it to
the
you. You might not like my story. There is no Jesus in the Lord of the Rings.
Star Wars is gonna look cool when it's all done. Law 3. Yes, this is Trench Crusade minis. Jason and I have been hard at work knocking out some of these models for the past couple weeks. I'm trying to grab some of these that I've been working on here so you guys can see them all together. You got the Warwolf, which I basically finished up today. Just about finished up. The Sun Eater. Nice and gross. Loss of blood. We've got the Artillery Witch. I did not finish my Skaven. I played them one time and was very, very unhappy. We got the heavy guy here. Death Commando. Also, B, have a great night. We will see you tomorrow, hopefully. Oh, you were saying a Christmas movie. Then sure, it's a Christmas movie.
No, it's still not.
Source unhappy with Skaven? What is this I'm hearing? Too many models. Didn't really like the playstyle. Wasn't for me. This is not a not normal thing for me though. I knew it was going through your head when I said it.
He buys what the community thinks is OP busted and then walks away from it.
Well, hold on.
That's what you do. You gotta admit.
I would make the argument that nobody knew what the heck was going on with Skaven. It was the new edition. Nobody knew it was going to be good.
But it's not like you walk into Skaven and think it doesn't have a lot of models, Jordan. Skaven has never not been a horde army.
You're correct.
One of the worst horde armies.
You are correct. You are 100% correct. I also didn't like that it was so hard to get some of the things for it. Like the gnaw holes are almost just mandatory for that faction. And they were just completely not available anywhere, period. Full stop on release. They were just like completely out of print, sold out. Couldn't find them. And they are super integral into how that army works. Oh my gosh, Mike. Oh man, even Mike's making fun of me.
As he should.
As he should.
Jordan is the king of bright shiny.
I am. I'm trying to be better about it. It's hard though. I'm trying to be better about it.
Ask him about any of the armies you've seen him paint since he got here.
I definitely get really passionate about things. And if I don't immediately start just absolutely cranking them out right away, it's not going to happen. So, that moving forward with that understanding of myself, I'm avoiding buying armies. Chris has been trying to get me to get an Age of Sigmar army, and I'm just like, Ugh. Can't. I just don't want to buy stuff right now.
Chris is a horrible influence, by the way.
Oh, I know. He was like, man, you should build all your stuff. I'm like, I don't have enough to do anything with.
Chris is an absolute horrible influence.
He's like, look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Horrible. He's peeking through the door at us because he knows you're a horrible influence.
You're a horrible influence.
Horrible influence. 50, why do you need 15? Because he knows we can't do that. 15. Are there 15 factions in Age of Sigmar? Because there you go.
Probably.
There you go. There's all the.
I think there's 8 in order alone. So we're probably good.
5,175 people who don't mind inappropriate, out of context conversations on stream in the Discord.
And we love you guys for that.
David J abandons armies the way billionaires abandon kids. Ba-dump, bump. Mike has so many new inbox AOS armies. No, best place for them. Is that the best part about Warhammer? Spending several hundreds on figures you can best measure by the gram. It was always amazing to me back in the day. It's changed a lot because now the models are not so bits oriented. And the conversion ability has gone down dramatically over time. So your amount of bits is not as ridiculous as it used to be. But it used to be that you'd build a couple armies for 40K or Age of Sigmar. Well, it was Fantasy Battles back then. And your metal and plastic bit drawer was like 50 pounds worth of stuff. That you could, if you just had, like, it would be everything you needed to build an army except legs. Because, like, you get an army that came with various torsos, but only one pair of legs for everything.
Yeah.
Or the other way around, 2 duplicated torsos for whatever your army was, and one set of legs, or 2 set of legs and 1 torso. So you'd build all your army, and you'd be left with enough pieces that look like you have a whole second army, except you need legs. Or except I have no torsos.
Yep.
I have 5 million legs for my Imperial Guard.
But
I don't have any torsos.
How many duplicates they had.
So back in the day, you had the bits book, and you could order all the bits through the bits book. And as an employee of Games Workshop, we could order them by the pound. They would price it to you by the pound.
Seriously?
Yeah, it was like 85 cents a pound. Stupid. It was so stupid. So when we ordered, I would get the big freezer, like industrial freezer Ziploc bags. It would hold like, I don't know, like 10 pounds of bits. And I would get that, and it would be like, that was $20. And it was like 3 whole armies of stuff. It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. Absolutely crazy. They stopped doing that a long time ago. Yeah, they stopped doing that a long time ago. I think it was when the bits storage area was being transferred over to Memphis, when they first opened the Memphis warehouse, and the bit shelves fell. And that's when they stopped doing the bits catalog, because they couldn't put them all back together. They fell, and so all the bits were mingled in piles on the floor.
Wait, actually?
Done. Yeah.
I'd never heard of this before.
Yeah.
Just all of the bits just fell over and intermingled with one another, and just...
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, they were also moving to plastic, so but that's crazy. Well, the 1 pair of legs was their attempt to keep you from making more models without buying more. Exactly. Well, and the bits catalog was open to everybody. If you would go into a Games Workshop store, they weren't called the Warhammer store back then. It was just a Games Workshop. But if you went into Games Workshop, the bits catalog used to be on a kiosk with a pen and a note paper, so that you could write what bits you wanted, and people would stand there on that catalog for hours because it was 300 pages, like a
crazy
phone book. It was like a monster phone book.
I remember this.
That had every model. You could buy some of the. They didn't have much plastics back then, so the plastics came like on sprues. You could get the biggest one that was always out of stock was the Space Marine Sergeant accessory sprue that had the Power Fist, Power Sword, Thunder Hammer, something else, Plasma Pistol. It was like a little bitty sprue that came in your metal Space Marine box.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, it was crazy. Crazy. When you first bought 40K, you got 30 Space Marines for $20. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you don't get 30 for 50 anymore. Yeah, 50 gets you 10 models or a squad.
Or it might even get you 5.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually 60.
Depending on if it's Terminators, yes, it's like 60 for 5 Terminators.
They're
Mike,
assault intercessors.
That's insane. Mike
$60,
said my total backlog of minis is 7,508, and there are hundreds on pre-order right now.
So you're a collector, though.
Yep.
You're a collector who hobbies
there's
occasionally.
no possible
You
way
hobby very well,
you're gonna
but
get
you
through all
collect
this.
better.
Yeah, definitely.
Trust me, we're like that, because around here we'll be like, yeah, order that box in because we want to paint that one model from it. And then the rest of it just sits on sprues around here. We have 50 million models. You remember how excited when the Bits wagon came to your local gaming store? Oh, that's right. If you were on the East Coast, you used to have a Bits wagon. I remember that. That was John Matthews' territory. I saw a picture of him not too long back. All right, gang, we're done. We're out of here. Thanks so much for everybody that's hung out with us today. For you that might be new here, please hit that follow button. Remember, we stream on Twitch and YouTube 5 days a week from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, Mountain Standard Time here in Arizona, lovely town of Phoenix. So we'd love to see you back here. So hit that follow button, join our community. Jen put links in chat just a few minutes ago, so scroll back up and grab those. You'll find a link to our store where you can get all of the wonderful Pro Curl and Pro Series brush products that we have been using live on stream here. As well as the FLGS link, where you can check for game stores closer to you, whether you're here in the States or anywhere internationally. We have distributors worldwide, so there are places where you can buy our stuff. Please do. We love the support. And love when you guys go support your local gaming stores. They do all the hard work, right? Because they give you air conditioning or heating, depending on where you are in the world at what time, where you can hang out and be social. And then on our Discord, come there and join the over 5,000 amazing nerds just like yourselves, where you can get inspired, tell fart jokes, see funny dog videos, and hang out with all of us. Catch the after videos on the YouTube, as well as all of our nutty commercials and other updates and tutorial info. And we are going to find somebody to raid now. So stick around. You'll have more hobby goodness as you go off into your night. And we'll look forward to seeing you back here for the weekend or tomorrow, Friday. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you there.
Bye,
Bye everyone.